Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The question of today is, why is a man allowed to have more than one wife in Islam? That is, why polygamy is allowed in Islam? What is the definition of polygamy? Polygamy means a system of marriage whereby one person has more than one spouse. Polygamy can be of two types. One is polygyny, where a man marries more than one woman, and the other is polyandry, where a man marries more than one man. Where a woman can marry more than one man. It's called as polyandry. In Islam, limited polygyny is permitted, whereas polyandry is completely prohibited. Now, coming to the original question, why is a man allowed to have more than one wife? The Quran is the only religious scripture in the world that says marry only one. The Quran is the only religious book on the face of this earth that contains the phrase marry only one. There is no other religious book that instructs men to have only one wife. In none of the other religious scriptures, where it be the Vedas, the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita, the Talmud, Bible, one find a restriction on the number of wives. According to these scriptures, one can marry as many as one wishes. It was only later that Hindu priest and the Christian church restricted the number of wives to one. Many Hindu religious personalities, according to their scriptures, had multiple wives. King Dashrath, the father of Rama, had more than one wife. Krishna had several wives. In earlier time, Christian men were permitted as many wives as they wished, since the Bible puts no restriction on the number of wives. It was only a centuries ago that the church restricted the number of wives to one. In earlier times, Christian men were permitted as many wives as they wished. It's the truth. On the other hand, polygyny is permitted in Judaism. According to Talmudic law, Abraham had 3 wives, and Solomon had hundreds of wives. The practice of polygyny continued till Rabbi Gershom ben Yehuda issued an edict against it. The Jewish Sephardic communities living in Muslim countries continued the practice till as late as 1950, until the act of the chief rabbinate of Israel extended the ban on marrying more than one wife. If you look at the interested note, as per the 1975 census of India, Hindus are more polygynous than Muslims. The report of the Committee of the Status of the Woman in Islam, published in 1975, mentioned on page number 66 to 67 that the percentage of polygamous marriages between the years 1951 and 1961 was 5.06% among the Hindus and only 4.31% among the Muslims. According to Indian law, only Muslim men permitted to have more than one wife. It is illegal for any non-Muslim in India to have more than one wife. Despite it being illegal, Hindus have more multiple wives as compared to Muslims. Earlier, there was no restriction even on Hindu men with respect of the numbers of wives allowed. It was only 1954 when the Hindu Marriage Act was passed that it became illegal for Hindu to have more than one wife. At present, it is the Indian law that restricts a Hindu man from having more than one wife and not the Hindu scriptures. Let us now realize why Islam allows a man to have more than one wife. Quran permits limited polygyny. As I mentioned earlier, Quran is the only religious book on the face of the earth that says marry only one. The context of this phrase is the following verse from Surah Nisa of the glorious Quran. From Surah Nisa chapter number 4 verse number 3, marry women of your choice, 2 or 3 or 4, but if you fear that you shall not be able to deal justice with them, then only one. Before the Quran was revealed, there was no upper limit for polygyny, and many men had scores of wives, some even hundreds. Islam put an upper limit of 4 wives. Islam gives a man possession to marry two, three, four, only on the condition that he deals justly with them. In the same chapter, Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 29 says, "You are never able to be fair and just as between women." Therefore, polygyny is not a rule but an exception. Many people are under the misconception that it is compulsory for a Muslim man to have more than one wife. Broadly, Islam has 5 categories of do's and don'ts. First, that is compulsory and obligatory. Mustahab, recommended or encouraged. Mubah, permissible or allowed. Makruh, that is not recommended or discouraged. Fifth is haram, that is completely prohibited, forbidden. Polygyny falls in the middle of the things that are permissible. It can be said that a Muslim who has 2 or 3 or 4 wives is better Muslim as compared to who has only one wife. It is not so. If you look at the scientific facts, if you look at average lifespan of females is more than death of females. By nature, males and females are born in approximately the same ratio. A female child has more immunity than a male child. A female child can fight the germs and diseases better than the male child. For this reason, during the pediatric age itself, there are more deaths among males as compared to females. During wars, there are more men killed as compared to women. More men die due to accidents and diseases than women. The average lifespan of female is more than that of males, and at any given time one finds more widows in the world than widowers. India has more male population than female due to female foeticide and infanticide. India is one of the few countries, along with the other neighboring countries, in which the female population is less than the male population. The reason lies in the high rate of female infanticide in India and the fact that more than 1 million female fetuses are aborted every year in this country after they are identified as females. If this evil practice is stopped, then India too will have more females compared to males. World population is more than male population. In the USA, women outnumber men by 7.8 million. New York alone has more 1 million more females as compared to number of males, and of the male population of New York, 1/3 are gays, that is sodomites. Sorry. The USA as a whole has more than 25 million gays. This means that these people do not wish to marry women. Great Britain has 4 million more females as compared to males. Germany has 5 million more females as compared to males. Russia has 9 million more females than males. God alone knows how many million more females are there in the world as compared to males. So it is also right to marry more than one wife. That's why Islam allows you to marry more than one wife. Upper limit is 4. For more answer about this question, you can refer to Dr. Zakir Naik's video cassette Women Rights in Islam. There he broadly classified that the one, it's just one question I'm telling you. And you can also mail me at Aamir Ahmed 70 @ yahoo.com, and is AAMIRAHMED 70 @ yahoo.com. And if you saw see this it, if you have Orco ID, you can scrap me for it. From now, goodbye. Jazakallah khair.